Lucia Arellano in the top 10 favorites for Miss World 2024. Lucia Arellano in the top 10 favorites for Miss World 2024. Once again, we are eager to present the candidates selected to compete in the world's prestigious beauty pageant. We are entering the 71st edition of this event, scheduled for next Saturday, March 9th at the Joe Warban Convention Center in India. Attention is focused on the 116 candidates chosen to compete for the coveted beauty title. Amid the speculation and predictions of fans and experts, it is important to announce that Lucia Arellano, the representative of Peru in Miss World 2024, is ranked number 8 on our list. This young Peruvian woman is a true gem, standing out for her fresh and angelic face that captures everyone's attention. Her presence at the pageant does not go unnoticed, since she embodies the elegance and grace of the southern women of her country. This queen is determined to leave an indelible mark on her land, demonstrating the continuing legacy of beauty that Peru has sent to the international stage. With a history of sending extraordinary women to compete on the international stage, Lucia is undoubtedly a key focus point for attention during this pageant. Lucia has an impressive career, being part of a long tradition of Peruvian women who have shown in international beauty pageants. Her participation in Miss World is the next step on her path to global recognition. Lucia's virtues go beyond her external beauty. Her charisma and positive attitude make her a charming candidate, capable of winning hearts anywhere in the world. Additionally, her commitment to social causes and her participation in community projects demonstrate her altruistic spirit and her desire to make the world a better place. As for her chances of winning, Lucia has all the cards on the table. Her natural beauty and strong character place her as a serious contender in the competition. With the support of her country and her unwavering determination, there is no doubt that Lucia has everything it takes to achieve the Miss World 2024 crown and take Peru's pride to the top. A Binsia Mesa case, between fame and the crime scandal. Binsia Mesa, between fame and the crime scandal. On June 25, 2009, the vernacular singer was found dead in her Surco apartment, hanged and stabbed. Days before, she had accused Binsia Mesa if something happened to her. For this case, the Queen of Paranditas is serving a 30-year prison sentence. June 25, 2009 was an unusual day for newspaper editorial offices in Lima. Early in the morning, actress Farrah Fawcett, from the legendary series Charlie's Angels, had died. Hours later, the entire world was saddened by the death of Michael Jackson, the king of pop, from a pethidine overdose caused at his home in Los Angeles, California. And while millions of her fans around the world mourned her departure, in Peru, news shook the world of entertainment with the effect of a hurricane. The police had found the vernacular singer Alicia Delgado dead and stabbed in apartment 602 of the 161 Boulevard Street, in Surco. The so-called princess of folklore had been dead for 2 days. She was found face down, with signs of torture and rape, as well as 9 stab wounds and obvious signs of strangulation. One piece of information caught the attention of the homicide agents: the murderer had taken a safe with money and jewelry. A cinematic hunt was immediately launched for the alleged murderer, Pedro Cesar Mamantura Antunes, Alicia's driver, who had disappeared with the singer's car, a Hyundai 4x4 truck, license plate in degrees RON 323, Tucson model. Who was Alicia Delgado? Born in Oyon, in the Lima region, she recorded her first song at the age of 16, and after her fleeting success she was able to travel throughout Latin America spreading Peruvian folklore. She later married Ruben Riturtu. She had her son Junior and lived in the United States for many years. When she returned to Lima, in 2000, she was already separated from her. Very few knew her. That's why she struck up a friendship by convenience with one of the main folk singers of that time, Binsia Mesa, who helped her relocate to the world of wino and show business. It was a bad decision. From friendship of convenience, they moved on to an open relationship that scandalized the very conservative Andean society. There were years of fights, reconciliations and complaints. They went to television shows together, sang on the same stage and vacationed in the same place. In 2008, Alicia and Binsia were living a torrid romance that was overshadowed by jealousy, arguments, fights and even physical attacks. According to statements by Alicia Delgado herself, On one occasion the artist attacked her and left various bruises all over her body. Even at that time, the vernacular singer indicated that she would ask for guarantees for her life. Until Alicia said that's it. She no longer wanted her love, disappointed with the alleged infidelities of the Queen of Partying. Apparently Abencia did not accept this decision. He kept trying to get on with her and, in Alicia's words, harassed and threatened her. Scared by this, Alicia decided to record a premonitory video. "I have been constantly threatened, and if one day something happens to me it will be known that I have been threatened. She has said that if I don't come back to her, the day she sees me with a man she is going to kill me. Dead, I'm going to get rid of her," she pointed out. What she didn't know was that she already had the enemy at home. Pedro Mamanchura, her future murderer and former Abencia worker, had started working as her driver just 10 days before. It is believed that he informed Mesa of all the movements of the Princess of Folklore. Death. According to the ruling of the 4th Criminal Chamber with inmates in jail of the Superior Court of Justice of Lima, Mamanchura was seen entering on Tuesday, June 23, 2009 at 3 in the afternoon, apartment 602 on Boulevard 161, Monterrico Urbanization, District of Santiago de Surco. This was stated by Silvestre Kaya Wawamani, the building's doorman. At 7:30 p.m. of the same day, Diego Alexander Claros Ramirez, a cleaning employee, saw him leave carrying a dark-colored box in his arms, to go to the parking lot where the victim's Hyundai car was located. It was abandoned half an hour later in the Independencia district, which activated the alarm. Without knowing that she was dead, the police notified Alicia the next day, Wednesday the 24th, that her car had been found abandoned on a street. As Delgado Hilario did not respond to the notification, his relatives were summoned, and on Thursday the 25th his sister Clarissa and his son Junior went to the police station, from where they left with a group of police officers to the artist's apartment, where they found the body. It was not until Sunday the 28th that the murderer was arrested in a lodging in the city of Tumbes, where he had given a false name. Horrendous crime. The autopsy protocol carried out on the corpse of the Princess of Folklore demonstrates extreme cruelty. She had 2 cut wounds on her neck and another under her left ear. She also had a groove and constricting element around her neck, apparently caused by the black leather strap that was found in that region, as well as blunt injuries on her neck, below the groove. Violaceous ecchymosis, hematomas, and linear excoriation can also be seen in the right lateral region of the neck and 2 ecchymoses on the thorax. Finally, a puncture wound in the hemothorax and 3 penetrating short puncture wounds in the dorsal region. Some of them were made after she died. The artist, in her desperation, scratched her murderer, and that is why they found traces of skin on her nails. As soon as he was arrested, Mamanchura accused her former boss, Abencia Mesa, of being the intellectual author of the crime. For this reason, on Monday she was preliminarily detained by order of the 17th Criminal Court of Lima. On July 7, 2009, Elizabeth Figueroa Cortez, head of the 50th Provincial Prosecutor's Office of Lima, criminally denounces Pedro Mamanchura before the judiciary for the murder of Alicia Delgado and Abencia Mesa as the intellectual author. 2 days later, the singer is transferred to the Charlos Women's Prison and the murderer to the Miguel Castro Maximum Security Prison, in Canto Grande. After a chaotic media trial, where the murderer said and renounced Abencia's responsibility, she was sentenced to 30 years in prison, while the perpetrator was sentenced to 35 years. On January 19, 2019, Abencia's legal defense presented before the 5th Unipersonal Criminal Court of Cajamarca, an appeal to review the sentence, pointing out an alleged violation of his rights to due process, the due motivation of the judicial resolutions, to the presumption of innocence, equality, personal freedom and the principle of congruence or correlation. However, the Transitory Criminal Chamber of the Supreme Court, chaired by Judge Jorge Castañeda, unanimously ratified the conviction of Abencia Mesa Luna by declaring that there is no nullity in the sentence, the Abencia lawyer version. For Dr. Luis Tudela, Abencia Mesa's former lawyer, the Queen of Paranditas is innocent of Alicia Delgado's crime for several reasons. According to what he said, Throughout the trial it was proven that there was never any contact between Abencia and Pedro Mamanchura that could involve her client in the murder of the Princess of Wino. Likewise, he pointed out an irregularity in the tax accusation. The representative of the public ministry could not support his first hypothesis, that of indirect authorship, or intellectual authorship, due to the lack of evidence, and finally had to reclassify the crime, accusing Mesa only of instigating. Despite this, he was sentenced to 30 years in prison. Regarding the famous video in which Alicia points out that Abencia threatens her and holds her responsible if something happens to her, she relativized this evidence by pointing out that what Delgado was announcing was not a possibility of homicide, but rather that she was going to suffer emotionally due to the breakup with his ex. Lucia Arellano, Miss Peru World 2024 from the Amazon, Your Queen. Lucia Arellano, Miss Peru World 2024 from the Jungle, Your Queen. The Peruvian businesswoman and model Lucia Arellano is preparing for one of the most prestigious competitions in the world, the Miss World 2024 beauty pageant. We spoke with her about her start in modeling and the controversy after her ascension. At the peak of her career and with a clear purpose, model Lucia Arellano heads to the next edition of Miss World, which will take place from February 17 to March 9 in India. This event, which will take place in the emblematic cities of New Delhi and Mumbai, represents not only a challenge in the field of beauty, but also a new opportunity for the businesswoman to represent Peru abroad. I'm going to be out competing for almost 21 days. It will be difficult because we will not be able to sleep some nights to comply with the scheduled activities. For this reason, we have a great job with psychologists to be able to endure such a burden that today I assume with happiness, says Arellano. At 16 years old, Arellano was already part of the pre-selection of volleyball representatives, representing her native Loreto. But it would not be until she was 18 that her world would change completely when she entered the world of beauty pageants, leaving behind her passion for sports on long catwalks. I had never spoken in public, worn heels or walked on a catwalk. Maybe at university I did it as a joke, but I never thought I would follow this path that I ventured on, says the model. This decision was made after graduating in international business in Houston, after receiving an invitation to Miss Peru World where she managed to place in the top 6. On the other hand, her life is also linked to her social work that includes working alongside INAN in the fight cancer, develop productive programs for inmates and advocate as a Goodwill ambassador. In addition to launching her own bikini line. Where does Lucia Arellano come from? My father, Marco, was born in the city of Piura. My mother, Soledad, was born in the city of Iquitos. Both are different parts of Peru, different departments that have their own characteristics. My father is from the coastal area, my mother is from the jungle area. I grew up with the love and company of 3 beautiful people, my siblings Christy, who lives in the city of Iquitos, Peru, Priscilla and George, both in Houston, United States. Today, I want to continue bringing you a little closer to where I come from. The greatest stage of my life has passed in Iquitos. In a few words, I would say that it is the place that I carry in my guts. Wonderful and eccentric place, located only 5 minutes from the Amazon River, it is the place that allowed me to develop, grow and live a childhood full of experiences and happy, unforgettable moments and capital earnings for my life. A peculiarity of my city is that it is classified as a beautiful island separated by water since, basically, it is located under the rivers. It is a place with a lot of vegetation, nature, flora and exquisitely varied fauna. We have wonderful tourist spots such as Quistacoca and the Pacaya-Sumira National Reserve, one of the largest natural reserves in Peru. Also, we have the Amazon River, a natural wonder declared as such since 2012, and we have the Amazon Rescue Center, which dedicates its efforts to the rescue, rehabilitation and preservation of Amazonian fauna. One more question about the identity of the people from all over Peru, particularly from the Peruvian jungle, from the Amazon. I think they are characterized by being very happy, extroverted, euphoric, vibrant, welcoming, humane, warm. People who you can immediately genuinely connect with them, they are so much fun. Well, these are some of my roots, life context, family and place, and this is what today I would love for the whole world to know, my beloved Peru. What has been the most difficult moment you have had to face so far in these events? The road to Miss World, well, this one has been different from the others. Initially I was not crowned, there was a succession process to be able to give me the crown, and it was difficult not to receive the support of the same people involved in the pageants. That caused me stress and anxiety. I had to hire a psychologist to help me manage my feelings, my emotions, and thanks to that I focused on the positive, working non-stop and proving to myself everything I was capable of. For my part, I always stayed away because I thought that the parties in dispute had to solve those problems. I just wanted to avoid problems and focus on my preparation, but it really was a lot, says Arellano, who went to a psychologist after being harassed on social networks. I had to ask for help to deal with this in the best way, especially due to the large wave of comments that appeared. My psychologist's recommendation was to refrain from responding to the comments and continue working, adds Arellano. Following the decision to award the crown to Lucia Arellano, the Miss Peru World organization, directed by Tito Paz, explained that this measure was carried out due to Barrantes' lack of commitment to the required activities and social work. A few months ago she changed her attitude. She began to seem very distant from everything we asked of her. She did not respond to our messages, she was as if absent, Paz commented on the Arriba Mi Gente program, while emphasizing the importance of the active participation of the representatives. The organization did not just give me the crown, even though it belonged to me by succession. Director Tito Paz interviewed all the candidates who were among the finalists. It's not like they approached me and said she would be the representative. He asked us several things and more decisions were made. Then they called me and I accepted the challenge, explains Arellano, who also did not communicate with Barrantes after the statement issued by Miss Peru World. For her part, model Jennifer Barrantes explained, through her Instagram account, that there were irregularities within the organization and difficulties in continuing her reign. She explained that she did not receive the official crown, she lacked professionals to prepare her and faced inconveniences in working. I deny any type of non-compliance with the obligations and responsibilities assumed since obtaining the title Miss World Peru 2022. I did not receive the official crown. After 3 months, I decided to buy my own crown and work on digital content officially. The preparation did not occur in the stipulated time. I waited several months for the instructions to start my preparation classes. Seeing disinterest, I started on my own and with my own means with private teachers for public speaking, English, catwalk, self-makeup, styling and physical preparation, says the statement issued by Barrantes on her Instagram. Despite the adversities and controversy, Arellano is preparing to represent Peru in the Miss World 2024, in addition to transforming her social project Semillitas de Belén into Semillitas on the World, an initiative that seeks to impact the life of children in countries like India. I want people to trust me, I am learning the language and I am preparing myself as best as I can to raise the name of my country, she concludes. You talked to me about the support of a specialist, a psychologist. How important do you think it is for people to have this type of support in general, fundamental for life? It is important to talk about mental health, emotional stability. If at this moment I did not have the help of professionals in the psychological field, I would not be so focused, determined and committed to this wonderful path called Miss World. Communication with my psychologist became a fundamental piece to make this process much easier. You will travel to India for the Miss World. How do you feel about representing Peru in the pageant? Proud to wear the Peru sash, it is a tremendous honor, a position with so much commitment and discipline. From day one that I accepted to be Miss Peru World, I said that I was willing to give everything for my Peru, but above all to show who Loreto women really are, those of the coast, mountains and jungle, what we are made of. Thanks to this platform that focuses a lot on social work, I have been able to achieve a great dream, creating a shelter home for children from a vulnerable area in my city. How was the Semillitas de Belén Foundation born and what are the most notable achievements so far? It started when I was 12 years old. My best friend and I signed up to volunteer at church. There they had educators, but the support of people who wanted to support the children was also necessary, so we joined the project in which we spent 5 years. After finishing my degree, I returned to Peru and it was time to do something more for 60 children. And the Semillitas de Belén project began. I always said that at some point I would be able to rebuild a house so that the children would not have to do classes on the floor or on the chairs in the chapel. Miss World was an ideal platform because it is really dedicated to working, to making a change in society, to being an agent of positive change, and I decided to participate in a beauty pageant in 2022 and now we are already in the middle of building the house stay. They deliver it to us in 2 months. Regardless of what happens in Miss World, this project continues. I am sure that all of them will be able to build a good future, be professionals and fulfill all their dreams. How do you combine your international business career, your activities as Miss Peru World and your social projects? It has been quite a challenge, but not impossible. I currently have a nightclub, a restaurant in Iquitos, a swimwear brand, and I work in other business areas. Everything is a challenge: organizing, planning, giving yourself time. I think the key to success is being an organized person, complying with the schedules you set for yourself and being responsible. You participate in social projects, such as the fight against cancer and initiatives in productive prisons. What motivates you to be committed to these causes? Being a transformational leader, seeing a change in our society. I believe a lot in second chances. My path to the Miss World crown has been one of struggle, of effort, and I believe that all people deserve that, an opportunity to get ahead. You are a public figure, so how do you handle criticism and what advice would you give to those who want to follow in your footsteps? Something that has really worked for me is focusing on the positive, on ourselves, in what we are and what we are capable of. So the best thing is to turn a deaf ear to criticism because people don't know your life, they don't know the story behind you. What are your expectations for this contest? Bringing that blue crown home again. I am going 100% confident in our work, in our effort. We are more than 20 people behind this path and also 33 million Peruvians that I will carry with the Peruvian band. Representing our country with so much honor, with so much pride, simply shouting Peru is already a dream come true. I leave with the best expectations, willing to leave soul, heart and life on that stage, but also show who Peruvian women are. How can they support you? There is a platform called Mobstar. Download it, create an account, search for the user Lucia Arellano. And you have to like all the photos that I have been posting. I have approximately 1,000 photos. We have to reach more than 3 million and I am very sure that we will achieve it easily. Will Cesar Vallejo let Paulo Guerrero go? Will Cesar Vallejo let Paulo Guerrero go? Will he let it go? Cesar Vallejo's position regarding the possible departure of Paulo Guerrero. The Cesar Vallejo University hit the market by announcing the hiring of Paulo Guerrero. However, a few days after his announcement and waiting for his arrival, the situation would have changed drastically. The position that the Cesar Vallejo University would take in the face of a possible request from Paulo Guerrero to terminate his contract. The news of the Peruvian soccer season was without a doubt the arrival of Paulo Guerrero at the Cesar Vallejo University. In an unexpected event, the Trujillo team managed to convince the Predator, who will have his first experience in national professional football. However, in the last few hours, the situation changed drastically. It was learned that the 40-year-old attacker is considering terminating his contract. As it became known, Guerrero is going through a serious family problem, which is why he wants to continue his career in Brazil. What is Cesar Vallejo's position? Cesar Vallejo and his position regarding the possible departure of Paulo Guerrero. Last Sunday, it was learned that Paulo Guerrero is analyzing his contract with the Cesar Vallejo University. Given this, RPP Deportes was able to learn that the Poet leadership will maintain its position of maintaining the link with the footballer. In addition, they expect the national soccer player to arrive this week in the city of Trujillo to begin training with his teammates, as he is expected to be present in the match against Sport Huancayo on date 4 of the Liga 1 Apertura tournament. As recalled, the UCV sent a physical trainer to Brazil to tune up Paulo Guerrero. What's more, the Trujillo club itself published a series of photos and videos where the Predator is seen training in the streets of Rio de Janeiro and indicating that he was arriving in the country this week. Paulo Guerrero is fully dedicated to training with our physical trainer and arriving ready for next weekend. Let's go with everything, Guerrero. Cesar Vallejo wrote last week on his X account. I could face Carlos Alcaraz. Juan Pablo Varillas and his path in the Argentina Open. I could face Carlos Alcaraz. Juan Pablo Varillas and his path in the Argentina Open. In the seeding of the Argentina Open 2024, Juan Pablo Varillas was paired with a quali in the first round. If we qualify, our compatriot will face Carlos Alcaraz. Although this year started out being very hard for Juan Pablo Varillas, 85th ATP, with 5 consecutive defeats in singles, tennis is the sport that gives you revenge quickly, and now our compatriot will have the opportunity to recover his best version in Argentina Open 2024, Buenos Aires ATP. After the draw held this Saturday, Juanpi was seeded with a qualification in the first round, and if he qualified he will face Carlos Alcaraz, second, one of the best tennis players in the world. Of course, it must be taken into account that the first match of the first racket of Peru will be in doubles, partnering with the German Yannick Hanfmann and competing with the duo made up of the Spanish Bernabe Zapata and the Colombian Daniel Galan. This crossing is scheduled for Monday, February 12 from 11:30 a.m., Peruvian time, with 2 more hours in Argentine territory, and will be played at the Buenos Aires Lawn Tennis Club. As for singles, Juan Pablo Varillas still does not know his opponent in the first round, but he will have a very tough road if he wants to repeat last season's performance, where he reached the semi-finals. Carlos Alcaraz, at only 20 years old, is called to dominate world tennis when Novak Djokovic passes the baton to him, so it will be a greater challenge for Juanpi. Let us remember that at the Argentina Open 2023, the 28-year-old tennis player was among the 4 best after playing a game of the highest level, the same one that allowed him to remain in the top 100 of the ATP ranking. On that occasion he started from the qualifying, beating the Argentine Federico Del Bonis 2-0. Later, in the first round, he also beat the Portuguese João Sousa 2-0. Already in the round of 16, Varillas excelled by eliminating Dominic Thiem, 2-0, while in the quarterfinals he beat the Italian Lorenzo Musetti, 2-0. With an impeccable path and 1 step away from the grand final, Juan Pablo could not beat the British Cameron Norris and fell 2-0. Without a doubt, his 2023 was spectacular, and that performance at the Argentina Open marked a monumental takeoff in his career at the international level. Although 2024 began with ups and downs, including the 2 defeats in the Davis Cup, Peru lost 3-2 at the hands of Chile. Varillas hopes to reverse this bad moment as soon as possible. Give it your all, Juanpi. More tennis. Peru already has a rival in the 2024 Davis Cup. The recent defeat against Chile in the Davis Cup qualifiers is now a thing of the past, and Peru must turn the page quickly, since the challenges ahead will be just as complicated, but not difficult to face after what we saw in Santiago. Thus, last Thursday the International Tennis Federation, ITF, drew lots for the matches of World Group 1 and 2 of said tournament, where our compatriots were paired with Switzerland and will seek to remain as visitors. Quite a challenge for the team led by Luis Horna. This will be a great opportunity for Team Peru to rub shoulders with great opponents, since the Swiss team has Stan Wawrinka as its greatest asset. The 38-year-old tennis player is currently ranked 40th in the ATP rankings, but has reached number 3 in the world in his prime. Although there is a long way to go before this crossing, scheduled for the month of September, Lucho Horna will have to put together a great squad to be up to the task. In addition to Wawrinka, the European team is made up of Marc-André Huesler, Dominic Stricker, Leandro Riti, and Alexander Richard. Likewise, Peru has these representatives: Juan Pablo Varillas, Gonzalo Bueno, Ignacio Buz, Arclan Huertas del Pino and Connor Huertas del Pino. We have to trust in the talent of our compatriots, because despite the defeat against Chile last weekend, they fought until the last game. Lucia Arellano, Ambassador of Joy and Sensuality at Miss World with La Anaconda. Lucia Arellano, Ambassador of Joy and Sensuality on the Miss World stage with La Anaconda. Lucia Arellano, the current Miss Peru World, is preparing with enthusiasm and determination to represent Peru in the prestigious International Miss World pageant. Originally from Iquitos, she will bring with her the joy of celebration and the sensuality of La Anaconda, a traditional music from the Peruvian jungle, to the event that will be held this year in India. Unlike other beauty pageants, the Miss World allows participants to highlight the cultural richness of their countries through performances that include traditional dance and music. Lucia, aware of this unique opportunity, has carefully prepared her performances, showing the cultural diversity of Peru in each of them. In her first performance, Lucia will indulge in the rhythm of La Anaconda, a choice that not only highlights her dancing skills, but also reflects her innate connection to the traditional music of her homeland, Iquitos. For her next performance, she plans to incorporate vibrant Afro-Peruvian rhythms, highlighting the country's musical diversity. The candidate also plans to wear emblematic clothing from the Peruvian mountains in another of her performances, ensuring that the three regions of Peru and their cultural wealth are at the center of attention during the contest. Additionally, she has prepared an exciting celebration display for the talent competition, showcasing her versatility and commitment to authentically representing Peruvian culture. Lucia Arellano is not limited only to artistic expressions, but she seeks to further involve the richness of Peruvian culture in Miss World. She invites the entire Peruvian public to support her with their vote through the official contest application, available on Google Play and Apple Store. Each like received brings her closer to direct qualification to the next stage and the possibility of reaching the coveted crown. Each like received not only represents the support of the public, but also brings it one step closer towards direct qualification to the next stage of the contest. With her charm, skills and dedication, Lucia Arellano has managed to capture the hearts and attention of those who closely follow this prestigious beauty pageant. Go, Peru! If possible. Ligue 1 2024, this is how the standings remained after Universitario's victory. Ligue 1 2024 Live, this is how the standings remained after Universitario's victory in the Clásico on Day 3 of the Apertura tournament. Follow the results and standings of the Liga 1 I Bet You 2024 in the Apertura tournament. Universitario de Deportes, current champion of Peruvian soccer, dreams of achieving the two-time national championship in the season of its institutional centenary, but the path for the Creams will not be easy, as it will have to fight with 17 more clubs that want to achieve glory in Liga 1 I Bet You 2024. La Liga 1 2024 is divided into the Apertura and Clausura tournaments. The championship, which began on January 26, maintains the format of the previous edition, although it has new features. The VAR is implemented from the first match of the year. The teams will be able to have up to 6 foreign footballers on the field simultaneously, and half of the participants are locals in high-altitude cities. Alianza Lima and Sporting Cristal are other clubs aiming for the title, but FBC Melgar and Cesar Vallejo also appear in this consideration, after starring in a resounding transfer market. Clubs participating in Ligue 1 2024. ADT. Athletic Alliance. Lima Alliance. Atletico Grau. Carlos Amanuxi. Scientist. United Merchants. Cusco FC. Deportivo Garcilaso. FBC Melgar. The Chancas Psych. Sports Boys. Sport Huancayo. Sporting Cristal. Trade Union. UTC. Cesar Vallejo University. University of Sports. Schedule and results of Date 3 of the Apertura tournament. Friday, February 9th. UTC 420 Cesar Vallejo. Cienciano 2-2 Sporting Cristal. Saturday, February 10th. Melgar vs Athletic Alliance. Time, 3 p.m. Stadium, Monumental Once. Carlos Amanuxi vs United Merchants. Time, 3:30 p.m. Stadium, Mansish. Lima Alliance vs Academic. Time, 8 p.m. National Stadium. Sunday, February 11th. The Chancas vs ADT. Time, 3 p.m. Stadium, Los Chancas. Sport Boys vs Deportivo Garcilaso. Time, 4 p.m. Stadium, Miguel Grau. Sport Huancayo vs Cusco FC. Time, 6 p.m. Stadium, IPD Huancayo. Monday, February 12th. Atletico Grau vs Trade Union. Time, 2:30 p.m. Stadium, Champions of 36. Valentine's Day, know 15 phrases to dedicate to your partner on this day. Valentine's Day, know 15 phrases to dedicate to your partner on this day. If you want to send a more creative message on February 14th, find in this note phrases to dedicate to that special person for Valentine's Day. February 14th, also known as Valentine's Day, is the date that celebrates the day of love and friendship. People take the opportunity to spend the day with their partners to express the love they feel for each other and show that they are one of the most beautiful things that can happen to them. This date is great to dedicate and remind your partner or special person once again how much you love them. You can give him or her a detail or an original gift for Valentine's Day, as well as dedicate a love phrase to him or her to tell him or her what you feel for him or her. Below, we leave you 15 phrases for you to choose from and send to your partner this Valentine's Day. 1. It is never enough for me, because I always want more for you. I would like to make you happier, today, tomorrow, always. Until the end. 2. I love you more than my words can express and have allowed me to make you understand. 3. The more I see you, the more I admire you, the more I like you, the more time I want to spend with you and give you my life in one breath. 4. You are the most beautiful love story that destiny is writing in my life. 5. Your love is the puzzle piece that was missing from the story of my life. 6. May our time forgive us, because every time I see you the only thing I wish is for it to stop. 7. Love does not have to be perfect, it has to be real and true. 8. Love, a word, but you arrive and it gives meaning to that meaning. 9. Your smile is the amulet that my life needed to be lucky. 10. So much time, so much space, so many people and only you illuminate my path. 11. You are the light that illuminates my days and the reason why my heart beats strongly. Happy Valentine's Day, my love. 12. On this special day, I want to thank you for filling my life with love, joy and unforgettable moments. I love you more than words can express. 13. By your side, every day is like celebrating Valentine's Day. Thank you for being my unconditional partner in this beautiful adventure of love. 14. My reason to smile, my refuge on gray days and my company in joy. Happy Valentine's Day to the person who lights up my world. 15. On this special day, I want to remind you how much you mean to me. You are my true love and my greatest blessing. Happy Valentine's. Confessions and Betrayals of Pamela Franco and the Soccer Player Christian Cueva. Confessions and Betrayals of Pamela Franco and the Soccer Player Christian Cueva. Once again, the soccer player Christian Cueva is in a new scandal. This time his own wife was the one who unmasked him on the Magali Medina program, in which she pointed out that the soccer player had an extramarital affair with Pamela Franco and that they have currently returned to communicate and present evidence such as a money transfer that Christian Cueva made to the singer. Now Pamela Franco assumed that she had a romantic relationship with Peruvian soccer player Christian Cueva in 2018. According to Franco, this relationship was complicated and tumultuous, characterized by twists and turns due to lies and deception on Cueva's part. Despite trying to get away from her several times, Franco mentions that Cueva always came back to look for her, which created a toxic situation. For his part, Christian Cueva issued a statement acknowledging his mistake and apologizing to his wife and family for the improper connection with Pamela Franco, although he denies that it was a formal relationship. Cueva admits having made a mistake when trying to reconnect with Franco after breaking things off 5 years ago. Pamela Franco, for her part, responds to Cueva's statements by pointing out that she is no longer affected by what he says and that she considers that they both agree that it was a mistake. She also clarifies that she had already let Cueva see several months ago that she was in a relationship with Christian Dominguez when the latter began his relationship with her. This situation of infidelity and conflictive relationships between Pamela Franco and Christian Cueva, which generates controversy and personal repercussions. It shows the complexity of interpersonal relationships and how past mistakes can have a lasting impact on the lives of the people involved. Cueva's public confession and apology seem to indicate an attempt to take responsibility for his actions and seek redemption, while Franco's attitude suggests a desire to close this chapter in his life. Overall, the plot is a reminder of how past actions can affect people's present and future, as well as the importance of honesty and communication in relationships. Paolo Guerrero was extorted. Cesar Acuna confirmed the reason for Paolo Guerrero's request to leave Cesar Vallejo. Cesar Acuna confirmed the reason for Paolo Guerrero's request to leave Cesar Vallejo: his mother has been threatened. Cesar Acuna indicated that Paolo Guerrero's mother received threats the same day the soccer player signed a contract with UCV. The reasons were made known. Cesar Acuna, regional governor of La Libertad, confirmed the reason why Paolo Guerrero seeks to terminate his contract with Cesar Vallejo. In statements to the media, he indicated that the soccer player does not want to come to Trujillo because the same day he signed with the Poeta team, his mother received threats. I understand Paolo Guerrero. The same day he signed the contract, the criminals threatened his mother. I think he is meditating, he is evaluating his family or football. So, for security reasons he does not want to expose himself. I would do it, maybe it's my family, he said at first. Cesar Acuna indicated that Paolo Guerrero's mother received threats the same day the soccer player signed a contract with UCV. The reasons were made known. Cesar Acuna, regional governor of La Libertad, confirmed the reason why Paolo Guerrero seeks to terminate his contract with Cesar Vallejo. In statements to the media, he indicated that the soccer player does not want to come to Trujillo because the same day he signed with the Poeta team, his mother received threats. I understand Paolo Guerrero. The same day he signed the contract, the criminals threatened his mother. I think he is meditating, he is evaluating his family or football. So, for security reasons he does not want to expose himself. I would do it, maybe it's my family, he said at first. I say what happened. The same day the contract was signed, they called his mother and threatened her. Even Paolo's Guerrero lawyer has called the Minister of Defense to provide security. For this reason, that the main reason why he is not coming is because of what is happening in Peru, he added. Finally, she assured that they would talk to him and insisted again that she would do the same, terminate the contract, if his family went through the same situation. Let's hope that Paolo makes the best decision. The team had the best intention of having him here. I really value Paolo's attitude that he prefers his family, he concluded. Paolo Guerrero asked to separate himself from Cesar Vallejo. The arrival of Paolo Guerrero at the Cesar Vallejo University is considered one of the most important signings of the Peruvian Championship. However, everything would remain an illusion. It was confirmed that the 40-year-old Peruvian striker informed the UCV board of his intention to break the bond that united them. According to information collected, the reason for his request to leave is due to a complicated family issue. The position of the Cesar Vallejo University, initially, was that Paolo Guerrero respect the contract that he signed with the institution. However, after Cesar Acuna's statements, it is most likely that both parties will reach an agreement and the forward will not dress as a poet. How to vote for Miss Peru World 2024. From the Peruvian jungle, the queen of it. How to vote for Miss Peru World 2024. From the Peruvian jungle, your queen. Lucia Arellano will go in search of her dream and to leave the name of Peru at the top, since she will participate in Miss World 2024. Peruvian businesswoman and model Lucia Arellano is getting ready to compete in the next edition of the Miss World Beauty Pageant, which will be held from February 17 to March 9 in India, with the cities of New Delhi and Mumbai as venues. Our Miss Peru World, originally from Iquitos, has been working in social work since she was 12 years old, forming a foundation called Semillitas de Belén, a social project that today is a reality with the construction of a home for low-income children in the area of Belén where they can access an educational system, receive nutritional support, and have spaces for emotional support. She will go in search of her dream of being the best in the world and try to leave Peru's name at the top. The influencer with more than 25,000 followers on Instagram usually shows all the details of her path to the beauty pageant. The 28-year-old woman from Laredo has been traveling throughout the national territory with the aim of promoting national tourism, receiving distinctions in various provinces such as ambassador in the fight against anemia in the San Martin region, and declared an illustrious guest in La Libertad, Cusco, Ucayali, Laredo and Junín among others. How to vote for Lucia Arellano in Miss World. Focused on bringing the Miss World crown to our country for the third time, Lucia meets all the requirements to continue the legacy left by Maja Mantilla, and therefore needs all the support of Peru by voting in the Mobstar application, where find the profile of the Peruvian candidate. Now in her own words, Lucia Arellano tells us. Hello everyone, Miss World is getting closer and today I need your support. To win Multimedia Challenge, first we must download the Mobstar application, create an account, search for my user Lucia Arellano and put a like on each photo that I have been posting, because a like is a vote. Together we make Peru sound stronger. Extreme temperatures. CNMHI predicts that Lima would register peaks of 35 degrees Celsius during the next week. Extreme temperatures. CNMHI predicts that Lima would register peaks of 35 degrees Celsius during the next week. From CNMHI they indicated that these temperatures would occur between February 19th and 22nd, with variables in various parts of the capital, due to the entry of winds from the north to the sea that will transport warm air masses and cause little cloudiness. The National Service of Meteorology and Hydrology of Peru, CNMHI, reported this Wednesday that for next week high temperatures are expected in metropolitan Lima and Callao, with peak temperatures that would reach 35 degrees Celsius. As indicated on their website, these values would occur between February 19th and 22nd, and the maximum thermal sensation would reach 38 degrees Celsius. CNMHI specialists specified that, during the next week, northerly winds will enter the coast and transport warm and humid air masses, so little cloudiness is expected during the day. These factors, added to the high sea surface temperature, will favor an increase in day and night temperatures, as well as the thermal sensation. Temperature by zones. Along these lines, they indicated that maximum temperatures of 35 degrees Celsius are expected in northern Lima with a thermal sensation of up to 38 degrees Celsius, while in eastern Lima temperatures close to 34 degrees Celsius with a thermal sensation of 36 degrees Celsius are expected. For western Lima and southern Lima, values close to 32 degrees Celsius are expected with a thermal sensation close to 34 degrees Celsius. In addition, it is estimated that the UV index will reach values close to 11, classified as extremely high. On the other hand, CNMHI indicated that night temperatures would present records around 25 degrees Celsius for western Lima, 24 degrees Celsius in central Lima, and 23 degrees Celsius for Lima North, Lima South and Lima East. World Surf League 2024, the Billabong Señoritas Open Pro began in Punta Hermosa. World Surf League 2024, the Billabong Señoritas Open Pro began in Punta Hermosa. On Señoritas Beach in Punta Hermosa, the Billabong Señoritas Open Pro began this Wednesday, an event that belongs to the World Surf League. Free entrance. This Wednesday the Billabong Señoritas Open Pro began, a World Surf League competition that runs until February 17th at Señoritas Beach in Punta Hermosa. The surf tournament has the presence of various Peruvian exponents, references of the board such as Luca Messinas, Saul Aguirre, Miguel Tudela and Irina Rodriguez. There were also Roberto Perdigao, WSL Tour Manager, Gabriel Billaron and Sebastián Rubio. We are all ready, super prepared, very good waves are coming for the championship and we are going to represent Peru in the best way as always, declared Luca Messinas, two-time Pan American champion, who will compete in the second consecutive time in the presentation conference, the Olympic Games. There are quite a few girls coming from Brazil, from Ecuador, Argentina, Chile, and I think there will be a super good level for AQS, 1000 points, said Saul Aguirre. World Surf League in Peru. The Billabong Señoritas Open Pro is the first World Surf League event of the 2024 season in South America. The tour includes stages of the QS 1000, qualifying series, and Jake US Pro Juniors, and will pit the best surfers in the region against each other, in their male and female categories. The Open QS is a date of the current 2023 to 2024 season that adds 1,000 points to the regional ranking that closes in March. Meanwhile, the Pro Junior is the first stop of the regional circuit of the year and one of the few dates that qualify for the 2025 World Championship. We have juniors, open, men and women. We have a record of registrations and good surfers from the entire region. We want to invite them to come and enjoy this show, with the best, from South America, explained Gabriel Billaron. The competition round started on February 14th and entry is free to the public. Does Paolo's career end here or does Cesar Vallejos let him free? Paolo Guerrero, after threats to his mother, confirmed that he will not play for Cesar Vallejo. Does Paolo's career end here or does Cesar Vallejos let him free? Paolo Guerrero is not going to come. The Vallejo club has to decide if Paolo's career ends here or if they leave him free. Paolo Guerrero, renowned Peruvian soccer player, faces a difficult situation that forces him to make important decisions in his professional career. After having signed a contract with the Universidad Cesar Vallejo club for the 2024 season, the player announced his decision not to play with the Trujillo team due to the threats that his mother, Petronella Gonzalez, received after learning of his arrival in football. Peruvian. Guerrero himself revealed in an interview with America the details of the threats that his mother received through WhatsApp. The messages, coming from alleged extortionists, demanded monetary collaboration and warned of possible serious consequences if their demands were not met. Now the message says, "This is Aunt Peta, send this message to Paolo, that the North is ours here and let him adjust to our rhythm. We want him to collaborate with the organization, otherwise, even if he has 10 bodyguards, we are going to run into him and then he will regret the consequences. Let someone call us to provide a solution and if he turns to the police we will find out. The next communication will be when we carry out an attack. We are the organization behind most of the murders and kidnappings in Trujillo. It depends on Paolo if he wants his stay in Trujillo to be peaceful or terrifying. Look, Aunt, we wanted to be polite, but they sent a lazy person to misbehave. Here they are going to send someone who has an amount on the table. Trujillo is our land and here the boy with us or he could be in hell or in heaven, so thinking about what contract we are leaving and the consequences are going to be worse for you. Be smart and come up with a solution for the good of all. If I no longer see interest, I'll get off the hook and add one more kidnapping to my list to eagerly ask for 7 figures. Faced with this situation, Guerrero made the determination not to expose his family to greater risk and decided not to play for Cesar Vallejo. Despite his decision, the Cesar Vallejo club has insisted that Guerrero fulfill his contract and appear in Trujillo. However, the player is in Brazil and refuses to travel to Peru due to concern for the safety of his family. Guerrero's lawyer, Julio Garcia, has explained that the legal situation is complicated, since the club has not agreed to terminate the contract nor has it requested financial compensation for the breach of the agreement. On the other hand, Paolo Guerrero is at a crossroads regarding his sporting future. Despite his desire to continue playing football, threats to his family have generated uncertainty about his continued involvement in professional sports. Guerrero faces the difficult task of resolving the bond with Cesar Vallejo while he protects the safety of his loved ones. In short, Paolo Guerrero is forced to make a difficult decision between his sports career and the safety of his family, after facing threats from extortionists. Although he has announced his decision not to play for Cesar Vallejo, the club insists that he fulfill his contract, which generates uncertainty about his future in Peruvian football. Shake. Today February 15, 2024 in Lima, Huaral 5.4 magnitude. Shake. Today February 15, 2024 in Lima, Huaral 5.4 magnitude. President of the IGP, aftershocks of moderate magnitude are expected after a 5.4 earthquake in Huaral. After the 5.4 magnitude earthquake that was felt this afternoon in Lima, the executive president of the IGP, Hernando Tavera, urged the population to remain calm in the event of possible aftershocks. The executive president of the Geophysical Institute of Peru, IGP, Hernando Tavera, pointed out that the 5.4 magnitude earthquake that shook Lima on Thursday afternoon should not cause major damage to the population or structures. Due to the magnitude and distance, it is not expected to have caused major damage to the population or structures, indicated the scientific researcher in seismology and geophysics. In that sense, he specified that throughout the day they will update data and information that will allow them to know what has generated the occurrence of this seismic movement. On the other hand, Tavera urged the population to remain calm in the event of possible aftershocks. What we expect is that there will be aftershocks. Over time we will report on how many aftershocks have occurred, of moderate magnitude, in any case, he explained. 5.4 magnitude earthquake was felt this afternoon in Wirral. A 5.4 magnitude earthquake was felt this Thursday afternoon in the district of Wirral, province of the same name in the Lima region. According to information from the Geophysical Institute of Peru, IGP, the seismic movement occurred at 3:53 in the afternoon. The entity also specified that the earthquake was located 36 kilometers west of Wirral and had a depth of 57 kilometers. The movement had an intensity of grade 4V for Wirral within the Mercalli scale. The earthquake was felt by most people inside buildings. In the event of a large earthquake, the Civil Defense Institute, in DC, recommends having an emergency backpack ready. Jorge Fossati on Oliver Sani, I'm not going to spend 2 games to secure someone. On Oliver Sani in the national team, I'm not going to spend 2 games to secure someone. Jorge Fossati indicated that Oliver Sani plays on the right, a position where Peru does not lack someone of hierarchy. The Juan Reynoso era left several points to highlight. The main one, and one that has been recognized by the fans of the Peruvian national team, was the call-up of Oliver Sani. The Selgaba defender entered the bicolor squad in some matches of the South American qualifiers. And although he did not play a single minute, he is considered one of the group. But what does Jorge Fossati think? The Uruguayan coach, in conversation with Willax Deporte, indicated, initially, that Oliver Sani is not Peruvian, but that he is eligible. Furthermore, he said that he was not going to spend 2 games to secure a footballer, unless he finds a place for him. That's why I clarified that he is not Peruvian, but he is eligible. If we were wasting time discussing what it means. What I want to say is that he was not born here, he indicated at first. If I'm not mistaken, Sani plays on the right side. It's not exactly the case where Peru is missing someone with proven hierarchy. I'm not going to spend 2 official matches to secure anyone, except that if I see a place for him, I'm going to bring it. That's the idea, even if I don't need it in its original position, he concluded. FPF Press clarifies points of the interview with Jorge Fossati. After the excerpt of the interview with Jorge Fossati was published, the Bicolor Press area published a message clarifying some points of the interview. According to what he indicated, the conversation that the Uruguayan coach had lasted 45 minutes. Of them, 10 were dedicated to Oliver Sani. For this reason, they published a broader excerpt of what the Peruvian national team strategist said. There are several midfielders who play abroad. If there are any of them that I don't have either to play or for the bench, I won't bring them, said Jorge Fossati at first. If I don't bring any of those guys now in March, nothing happens. In the case of Sani, there is that detail of ensuring your future. So, if I see a place for him, I'm going to bring him, that's the idea. Even if you don't need it in its original position, he added. I did not want to answer this so that no one misunderstands that Sani. I am not going to bring anyone, even if I have a fan club. My responsibility is to be honest with the Peruvian people, with the fans of the national team, he concluded. Oliver Sani excited about possible call. Days before Jorge Fossati's statements, Oliver Sani commented that he is excited about a possible call from the Peruvian coach. In conversation with Depor, he indicated that he would like to play in the Copa America and hopes to be considered in the final list. I have heard that it is a great showcase. Definitely, I would love to play in the Copa America. I hope there is an opportunity to be called up and show what I can add to the team. I will continue to stand out in my team to be considered, he indicated. However, He confirmed that he has not yet spoken to the new strategist, but that he is waiting to have a conversation with the strategist. I have not spoken with Fossati yet or with his technical team, but I hope to receive the call from him. I am excited about his appointment as the new coach and I am hopeful that we can improve in the future, he concluded. Paolo Guerrero, excuse or real threat? Guerrero, excuse or real threat? Suddenly Paolo Guerrero is using threats as a pretext to not play in Cesar Vallejo. Cesar Acuna, it would be unfortunate if Paolo Guerrero appears in Alianza or Colo Colorado. In Agencia de Noticias, the founding president of Cesar Vallejo considered that Paolo Guerrero is suddenly taking the calls, extortion, as a pretext to not go to Trujillo. Paolo Guerrero does not wish to continue his relationship with Cesar Vallejo and, therefore, through his lawyer, he sent a letter of resignation to the Trujillo club in the last few hours. As a result, the regional president of La Libertad, Cesar Acuna, who is also the founding president of Cesar Vallejo, spoke with Ampliación de Noticias and responded regarding the controversy with Paolo Guerrero. At one point in the dialogue, he gave his impressions regarding the position of the former World Cup player, who hopes to leave the club in the next few hours. I hope that in the future I am not wrong, but perhaps Paolo is taking these calls, of extortion to his mother, as a pretext to not come to Trujillo. Perhaps he has better offers and it would be regrettable if the contract is dissolved and he appears in Alianza Lima or Colo Colo, he said. Paolo Guerrero will not play in Vallejo. Meanwhile, he hopes that both the footballer's side and the club's side will reach an agreement in the short term regarding this controversy. I hope that his and the club's lawyers come to an agreement because after all, in this issue of insecurity, the person responsible is the judiciary, the prosecutor's office, the national police. They call in a general way, he remarked. Likewise, Cesar Acuna regretted that the issue of citizen insecurity, in the Paolo Guerrero case, scares away investments and tourism in Trujillo. We cannot use this to try to affect a city like Trujillo. Nobody is going to want to come here. They are following what the regulations say so that they can reach an understanding, he said. Cesar Vallejo and Paolo Guerrero, on different paths. Finally, he indicated that every effort was made to have the presence of the international with the Peruvian national team in the team led by technical director Roberto Mosquera. Everyone was waiting because he is not coming. The truth is that Paolo's lawyer has called saying that they are threatening the player's mother. He called the Minister of the Interior and Defense. I told them to give him support like any citizen, he concluded. Peru and Brazil fight inch by inch. Billabong Señoritas Open Pro entered its final stretch. Peru and Brazil fight inch by inch. Billabong Señoritas Open Pro entered its final stretch. The high level of competition of the South American Surfing Champions was present on the second day of the Billabong Señoritas Open Pro, dominated by the girls with the best waves of the event to date, on a date of full women's rounds. In the Open QS 1000 ladies category, the wave of the day was the Pan American champion Daniela Rosas, who reached 9.50 points in her first round of competition, and a total score of 15.50 points, followed by the outstanding performance of the sisters Sol and Leilani Aguirre, PR, Sofia Medina, BRA, Catalina Zariki, PER, among others. In this way, the quarterfinals were defined with full Peruvians and Brazilians who will face each other in heart-stopping heats for the long-awaited promotion in the QS ranking. In an interview, Rosas highlighted the importance of having practiced in Señoritas several days before the competition and invited the Peruvian public to support their favorites. Super happy to be able to do this event at home, the first event of the year for me, so nothing. Let's hope to continue with that. I invite all Peruvians to encourage all the athletes here in Señoritas. It is worth highlighting the next duel between the Aguirre sisters, who will fight hard for their place in the semifinals in their next series. Let us remember that Sol has expressed on countless occasions her admiration for her older sister, who has also returned to participate after a long time in high-performance competitions. With the Billabong Señoritas Open Pro, the rounds of the youth women's category maintained the level of the competition, even surpassing the scores of the senior series. Irina Rodriguez, PER, had a cumulative score of 15.73 points, and Sofia Artieda, PER, a score of 15.67 points. Earlier, the pending junior men's heats from the previous day were completed, with the notable performance of Ryan Cainalo, BRA, Kuan Rapu, CHI, and Maximiliano Zattens, ECU. Meanwhile, the junior category featured the notable participation of the Peruvian Gabriel Lubacek, who obtained the highest score of the day with a total of 16.03 points and a wave of 9 points. In addition to Marcelo Guaman, who managed to turn his heat in the last minute with a wave of 8.73, placing him in first place in his series. And representatives from Argentina, such as Joaquin Munoz, and from Brazil, such as Guilherme Carvalho, were not left behind. This sports championship will run until Saturday, February 17th. The Billabong Señoritas Open Pro is a sports party with entertainment both in and out of the water, with more than 150 surfers from all over South America competing and brands that activated the beach from the first day, with autograph signings from champions like Miguel Tudela and delivery official merchandising of the event. Isabella Merced, the Peruvian superheroine who triumphs in Hollywood. Isabella Merced, the Peruvian superheroine who triumphs in Hollywood, from Madame Web to The Last of Us. In an interview for RPP, the actress of Peruvian origin shares details about her experience in the film Madame Web, where she shares the screen with Dakota Johnson. Additionally, she addressed filming The Last of Us and her busy schedule, which includes projects like Alien, Romulus and Superman Legacy. At just 22 years old, Isabella Merced, the young actress of Peruvian origin, has achieved what few actors have achieved in a lifetime: make her way in the demanding Hollywood industry and leave her mark in major productions that range from drama to the comedy. I have had many incredible opportunities that I cannot believe. I am in so many gigantic projects, with people who are top and fascinate me, she expressed during an interview, while promoting the film Madame Web, her new foray into cinema. A Peruvian in Marvel. The previous thing we knew about Isabella Merced was Rosalind, a romantic comedy inspired by the novel When You Were Mine, by Rebecca Searle, which in turn is based on William Shakespeare's classic drama, Romeo and Juliet. Now, she steps into the role of heroine for the first time in Madame Web, the film that explores the origin of one of the most enigmatic characters in comics. This time, she shares roles with Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney and Celeste O'Connor. The three of them have helped me a lot. We are friends, we support each other, Merced commented. Dakota is impressive, brave, I respect her a lot for her decisions in this film. I think she is the perfect Madame Web. Madame Web, a psychological thriller with action elements, has as its initial setting the Peruvian Amazon jungle. Cassandra Webb, Dakota Johnson's character, is Peruvian, because she was born in Peru. She's more Peruvian than me, she joked. This is the second time that I am part of a project where Peru is important in the story. The first was in Dora and the Lost City of Gold. I think it is something very interesting and pure coincidence. Isabella Merced and Alien, Romulus. This is not the first time that Isabella Merced shows her skill in action. Previously, we've seen her in projects like Transformers, The Last Night, which took her back to Peru to film in Cusco, and Sweet Girl, where she shared scenes with Jason Momoa. Action is my favorite genre, she confessed. I would like to continue participating in projects like Madame Web, commented Isabella. At the same time, she continues to explore other genres. In Alien, Romulus, scheduled for August 2024, she will make her debut in horror cinema, which will fascinate. What does Isabella Merced say about The Last of Us? The promotion of Madame Web coincided with the recordings of the long-awaited second season of the series The Last of Us, where Isabella Merced will take the role of Dina, the new romantic interest of Ellie, played by Bella Ramsey. I had a day of filming in Vancouver, for The Last of Us, before returning to Los Angeles for press activities for Madame Web. It was incredible. HBO loves that work and the script. I think it's going to be amazing. I love what I have read, she commented. I'm leaving Los Angeles for Vancouver the day after the premiere of Madame Web, to finish filming the first episode of The Last of Us. I'll be very busy. When I'm free from the series, I'll go straight to filming Superman, Legacy, Where will be Hawk Girl? When does Isabella Merced return to Peru? Despite her busy schedule, Isabella Merced recognizes that she has to work when she can, especially after the strike that paralyzed Hollywood in 2023. At the same time, she recalled with emotion her time in Peru and promises to return soon. Peru has a very special place in my heart. It has always been that way since my childhood, she says. I return to Peru at least twice a year. I love seeing my family. Plus, I already have a community of fans there. People recognize me more in Peru than in the United States. The triple arequipeño, the perfect combination of the gastronomy of Arequipa, Peru. Triple arequipeño, the perfect combination of the gastronomy of Arequipa, Peru. The San Camilo Market, in the heart of Arequipa, is a must-see to visit and taste the triple arequipeño, stuffed rocoto, a potato pie and baked suckling pig. People who arrive in the Arequipa region must visit the San Camilo Market, located in the heart of the White City, to taste the perfect combination of gastronomy, the triple arequipeño. The typical dish consists of a stuffed rocoto, a potato cake and baked suckling pig. This can be served accompanied by salsa de pata. Edwin Mamani, a regular visitor to the San Camilo Market, explained to RPP Noticias the main reason for his preference for this emblematic place for 10 years. It's always good to take a walk around San Camilo. It's a powerful dish that lifts you up, it's a real lift up the dead. Eating their ricotito, with their potato patel and of course their delicious chicharron. In addition, the landlady gives us with her salsa of a paw, he said. He highlighted that the arequipeño triple can be accompanied with their chicha de Huaynapu or chicha de Jora. And also with the traditional drink of Arequipa, which is the Scottish cola. Every Arequipan and visitor to Arequipa has to drink their Scottish cola, otherwise that trip was not worth it, said Edwin Mamani. Inviting everyone who is listening to us is a very delicious, very rich dish from the city of Arequipa, he added. Now, stuffed rocoto is a very typical dish from the Peruvian city of Arequipa, which is why it is popularly known as arequipeño. It is one of the most characteristic preparations of the region, in addition to the already popular potato cake. The Arequipa stuffed rocoto is made from rocoto, a rounded spicy fruit that is mainly produced in the area. In addition, they are filled with beef marinated with typical Peruvian seasonings, where ají panca cannot be missed. Popular legends are even attributed to the origin of the dish, this being a delicacy offered to Satan himself in exchange for the liberation of some souls. That's where its characteristic red color and the spiciness of this dish would come from. We leave you step by step and everything you need to know to get an infallible dish. Let's do it. Ingredients to make rocoto arequipeño stuffed. 6 medium red roses. 250 grams of beef. 100 grams of fresh cheese, Paria. 50 grams of raisins. 2 boiled eggs. 1/4 cup milk, 60 milliliters. 1 red onion. 1 tablespoon minced garlic. 1 tablespoon yellow chili paste. 1 dessertspoon of panca chili paste. 3 tablespoons tomato paste. 1 splash of vegetable oil. 1 pinch of salt. 1 pinch of pepper. 1 pinch of cumin. Preparation. 1. First, clean the ricotas very carefully, as they can cause itching or burning in your hands. Cut them at the top and reserve. Also, clean the inside by removing the seeds. Next, boil them in plenty of water with a splash of vinegar and a pinch of salt until they reach a soft texture but without falling apart. Tip: to reduce the spiciness of the ricotos as much as possible, change the cooking water after 10 minutes. Boil again until you achieve the desired texture. 2. Prepare the ingredients for the stuffed rocoto: the ground beef, the chopped onion for the dressing, the ground garlic, the yellow pepper and panca pepper pastes, and also the tomato paste. 3. Heat a frying pan with a splash of oil and begin to sear the beef. Season with salt and pepper to taste. 4. Once the meat is cooked, remove it from the heat and set aside. In the same pan, sauté the red onion along with the ground garlic. 5. When it becomes slightly transparent, add the yellow chili and panca and cook for a few minutes. Next, add the cooked meat and tomato paste. Season with salt and pepper to taste and add the cumin and oregano. Tip: you can also prepare the dressing with ground roasted peanuts, which will give the filling a different touch. 6. To finish the filling, add the raisins and boiled eggs in small pieces. Taste, adjust salt and reserve. 7. Preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Next, place the ricottos on a baking container and fill them with a couple of tablespoons of the sofrito. 8. In a container, add the egg and milk. Beat vigorously until the mixture thickens slightly. Pour it over each stuffed ricotto for better cooking in the oven. 9. Finally, cover each ricotto with sheets of fresh cheese and place its lid on top. Bake at 200 degrees Celsius for approximately 20 minutes. Tip: you can also prepare stuffed ricotto in the pot. The preparation is the same, you simply have to change the cooking mode. 10. The temperature and cooking time will depend on each oven. When they begin to brown, your Arequipa stuffed ricottos will be ready. A delight to the palate. If we reach 2,000 likes, we will publish the recipe for the potato cake and the baked suckling pig. Leave us make Peru shine. Vote for Lucia Arellano, our Queen of the Peruvian Amazon and Miss World 2024, Peru shine. Vote for Lucia Arellano, our Queen of the Peruvian Amazon and Miss World 2024. In the heart of the exuberant Peruvian Amazon, between the jungle and the mighty rivers, a radiant light emerges that embodies the beauty, strength and indomitable spirit of a land blessed by nature, Loreto, Peru. It is here where a story of determination, passion, purpose and pride is born that materializes in the figure of Lucia Arellano, a young woman who carries in her hands the dream of her region and her entire country. With her overwhelming presence and her unparalleled charisma, Lucia rises as an ambassador of the jungle, ready to conquer the world stage of Miss World 2024 and leave an indelible mark on everyone's hearts. Her story is a hymn to the diversity, cultural richness and natural beauty that defines Peru, and in every step she takes, she carries with her the legacy of her homeland. It is time to join together on this exciting journey, to support Lucia on her path to the crown and to show the entire world the incomparable brilliance of Peru. Welcome to a story of dreams, passion and hope.
Hello everyone, I am Lucia Arellano and I come from the land of the Incas, the amazing Amazon River and the place where you can enjoy the best food in the world. I am Peru! From the Pacific coast, the great mountains of the Andes, where the Amazon River is born, the Amazon rainforest that gives so much to our world and a culture and history that is so rich, Peru is a country with wonderful, hardworking people full of faith and hope. And one of our defining characteristics is our multiculturalism. Since I was a child, I had the desire to show my country to the whole world and where I come from, feeling so proud of my roots and cherishing our history and traditions. I was born in the city of Iquitos, in the Peruvian Amazon, and I feel very lucky to have a very united and loving family. I am the youngest of 4 siblings, and our parents always taught us to share and help others. My family represents the joy of my people. I love sports, dance, cooking and being surrounded by children. Since I was 7 years old, I was a volleyball player. Through this sport, I learned the value of determination and hard work. It taught me to never give up and always fight for my dreams. At 14 years old, I belonged to the national volleyball team in Peru. And through this, I earned a scholarship at a university in the United States. At this point, I realized that destiny had something wonderful prepared for me, and I decided to allow my path into the world. I studied international business at Lone Star College in Houston, Texas. I currently have a swimwear line in a restaurant, companies that provide work to over 100 families in my hometown of Iquitos. An entity that holds a special place in my heart is the Semillitas de Belén volunteer program. Since 2008, this program has been my inspiration to continue working and to be able to help many children to access food, support, and access to a good education. Today, having the Miss World platform, I've been able to fulfill my dream of working for many groups, supporting better access for home care for the elderly, helping ensure a better future for animals, helping people who are looking for a second chance in prisons to productive workshop, working in a fight against cancer, saving lives within men, and traveling throughout my country and promoting tourism.
I know that God's timing is perfect, and I will keep every moment in my heart. I am ready to continue working. See you, India! Namaste!
Let's support Lucia Arellano, our Peruvian representative in Miss World 2024. Make Peru shine on the world stage. Vote for her in the Mobstar app and let's bring our culture and beauty to the whole world.